Hey, what's up everyone? How's it going? This is Waj. Hope you guys are all doing well. And if you haven't noticed, I've been really busy with all this new iPhone 6s content. And this video is one that I've been looking forward to for a while. I've been using the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge as my daily driver for a couple of months now. It's a fantastic phone. I really do love it. But I'm really interested to see on how it compares against the iPhone 6s. Now, we've done a couple of comparisons already in terms of the speed test, camera comparisons, the battery life test. And even though I think the iPhone 6s is a fairly decent upgrade from the last generation, there's still a ton of features and options that it's missing when you start looking at what this thing has to offer. So in this video, we're going to be counting down my top 20 reasons of why I think the Samsung Galaxy S6 is better than the iPhone 6s. So if you're interested, let's get right into the video and find out why. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the internal differences between the two, and one of the advantages of the Samsung is the fact that it has an octa-core Exynos processor, which even though the Apple A9 is very competitive in terms of its single-core processing and its multi-threaded capabilities, it's still not as fast as the Samsung Galaxy S6 when it comes to multi-threaded application processing. So if you take a look at the Geekbench score as well as the Antutu benchmark, you are still getting higher performance on the Samsung Galaxy S6, and in some real world scenarios, things load up a little bit faster by a couple of different margins. And in addition to that, you also do have a little bit more RAM, about 3 gigs of RAM versus 2 gigabytes of RAM on the iPhone. Now, another awesome thing about the Samsung Galaxy S6 and S6 Edge is that they're around 1 to 3 millimeters thinner, which is really impressive to see. Additionally, the Samsung Galaxy S6 is almost 10 grams lighter, which is quite a big difference once you feel that weight difference in real life. Moving forward, in addition to the thin and lightness of the Samsung Galaxy S6, it also has a larger screen to body ratio. So that's basically the ratio between how big the actual physical body is in relation to the screen size. So you have your 5.1 inch display versus the iPhone has a 4.7 inch display, and we have a screen to body ratio of 71.7% on the Samsung and about 65.6% on the iPhone 6s. And of course, one of the biggest features of the Samsung Galaxy S6 is that beautiful Quad HD resolution, 2560 by 1440, versus the iPhone still has that 1334 by 750. We have a PPI count about 577, if you can believe it or not, on the Samsung, versus the PPI count is pretty low on the iPhone of about 326. Additionally, when you're watching videos or photos on both smartphones, you will also notice that the colors are more saturated on the Super AMOLED display on the Samsung, and plus the black levels are a lot better than what we expect to see on the iPhone because of that organic LED display. Moving forward, as I mentioned, we're using the Edge version of the Samsung Galaxy S6, and there's a couple of unique features about the Edge. Certainly, the aesthetic appeal is very nice when you're swiping back and forth, and it obviously looks really nice, but you can also highlight some of your notifications on the side of the Edge. Additionally, when you have the phone facing down and you're getting a call from one of your favorite contacts, it'll flash a specific color so you know who's calling without having to flip over the phone, which is kind of a neat feature. Now, another minor advantage on the Samsung is that we have an IR blaster. It's a feature that many of the Samsung S series phones have had for years and years, and I still like to have an IR blaster because you can use it as a universal remote control to control your stereo system, to control your TV. Whatever has a remote, you can basically control with a phone with that good old IR blaster, and it's something that many other phones, including the iPhone 6s, do not have. Furthermore, at the back of the Samsung, you also do have that heart rate monitor, so you can use that to measure your heart rate if you like to work out or run with your phone, and you can use that in conjunction with the S Health app that'll track all of your day-to-day activities. Moving forward, you have all those special features that the Samsung phones have, like all the motion and gesture controls, and including the Smart Stay, which will monitor whether you're looking at the phone or not and keep the phone on or off depending upon whether you're still looking at it. Now, if you like to download lots of large files over the web, the cool thing about the GS6 is you have the download booster mode, which will use your Wi-Fi in conjunction with your LTE network to basically boost your download speed, which is certainly handy for some of you power users out there that want those faster downloading speeds. Now, both devices have NFC capabilities, but on the iPhone, you're stuck to Apple Pay-based applications, versus the GS6 has a universal NFC capability, so you can use that to connect to a variety of different devices with NFC. And furthermore, a feature that I use on a daily basis is the OTG support, so you can use an on-the-go connector to connect in USB devices, whether that be a thumb drive for data transferring, or you can hook it up to a keyboard and mouse and use it as a full-blown computer. Another awesome feature about the GS6 is the multi-view multitasking mode, as well as the pop-up window multitasking mode. So with that, again, you can basically watch a video alongside reading an article at the same time, or do a whole bunch of different things. We don't have any kind of split screen multi-view multitasking mode on the iPhones at this point. The iPads will have them, but at this point, that's not an option on the iPhones. Now, this year was a huge improvement in terms of camera quality on the iPhone side, but it's still, I think, not up to the level of clarity and sharpness that we expect to see on the GS6. We have 16 megapixel stills instead of 12 megapixel stills on the iPhone, which does render out more resolution and sharper overall images, as well as, I think, better color rendition, especially in well-lit environments, both for photos and videos. Another camera feature that I like about the GS6 is the selective focusing mode. So here you can basically shoot a snapshot and then focus the image later on. I use this quite a bit to get a more blurred background effect, and you can always control where your focusing point is after you've taken it. Certainly a handy feature if you want to make sure that you're always going to get the perfect focusing every time. Now, since these days the main camera for most people is in their smartphone, it's very important to get that camera deployed as soon as possible, especially if you want to capture an unexpected moment. And the really awesome thing about the GS6 is you can simply quickly double tap on the home button and you're right then and there in the camera app. It's much faster than any method that we've come across on the iPhones. So if you want the quicker access to your camera, this thing definitely has that for you. And the last camera feature that I like about the GS6 is certainly the front-facing cameras. Now, both of the iPhone and the GS6 have 5 megapixel stills, but you have a much wider viewing angle on the Samsung. And additionally, for video, it looks much better at 2560 by 1440 versus the iPhone is still recording 720p video. Now, winding down our list, we're going to talk about some of the battery options we have on the GS6. Firstly, you have fast charging capabilities. There are no official fast charging methods for the iPhone, so you can get 0 to 100% faster on the Samsung, even though it has a much larger battery. And in addition to that, you have full wireless charging for both PMA and Qi wireless chargers. No wireless charging on the iPhones. And last but not least, in terms of general battery performance, the Samsung Galaxy S6 completely blows the iPhone 6s out of the water in terms of our critical benchmark analysis. On the Geekbench battery test we did, the GS6 got almost double the amount of time that the iPhone lasted. And just on my personal day-to-day use, I got several more hours on the Samsung compared to what I got on the 6S. And that's probably one of my biggest problems with the iPhone. The battery performance is just not cutting it. For any guys that are power users that are constantly on your phone all the time, you are going to struggle to kind of get through the day on the iPhone 6S, especially once the battery starts to degrade after a couple of months. So that's probably my biggest worry and concern about making a commitment to the iPhone 6S compared to every other smartphone out there that decently has a much larger battery and just better battery performance in general. But really, other than that, guys, that's really it. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching all of our content. You'll find all the dedicated videos we referenced in this video down in the description down below, and indeed the channel. But really, again, thanks again for watching. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you later. Take care.